Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's up, everybody? And to laugh, I did my on too soon. And welcome to Laugh. I am your favorite King. You guys can follow me at King Me Comedy on all social media platforms. And I just started my first social media reality show, y'all. So I'm really excited. You guys should tune into that. It's called The Real Comics of Las Vegas. So if you follow me at kingmecomedy.com, you guys can tune in and see what the female comics of Las Vegas have been up to. And I think that it is a super fun project, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So you guys make sure to tune in for that. Today we have a very needed subject. Well, I feel like all of our subjects are needed. I love my show, y'all. I love this show. But today we are talking a subject that I feel that everyone needs to discuss, but it's kind of taboo because everyone does it differently, and because of past traumas and how heavily some of them may weigh on us. Some of us don't respond, I guess, as I feel is needed. So today we're, taking down the walls. We're going to have a full-blown open conversation centered around healing. Can we get a round of applause for healing? Some snaps for healing.
We got the sound somewhere in here.
We really should. We got to learn the rest of this, y'all. Y'all are used to our making magic with our mouths here for about a year now. But yes, we'll be discussing healing, and I'm really excited about this subject in particular because I feel like the way that healing is discussed isn't necessarily healthy in most people's lives. Like, I don't feel like most people have a real sense of what healing looks like and what grief looks like. I feel like they're comparing it to someone else's, and everyone's trying to move on someone else's time when it comes to healing. So I'm excited about this subject. How about you? Because y'all know I got my beautiful co-host with me.
JD, a.k.a. Sunshine. What's good, y'all?
Bing, 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 bing.
I was the one that picked this topic because it's a needed conversation. That's just all I got for it. It's just needed at this point in time in life. And I feel like with the newer generation, our generation and above or below, however you want to look at it, the ones after us, we have a new set of problems. Generations before us, they was just out here trying to survive and make it and get it. And that was their focus. Now we can get out of survival mode and we can start to heal and be better humans because of it.
Yeah, but also the pressure to be a better human, or what society thinks a better human looks like, is a lot stronger, which can add to trauma and, hinder healing. Because although we have the time now, the reason we have the time is because we are the microwave generation and we have access to everything. Whereas the generations before us could make some mistakes and live to tell the tale and be fine. You make a mistake today, and it may not even be illegal. It could just be distasteful, but not frowned upon in any large scale. If that changes within the next 10 years, there is access for them to pull up that you did it 10 years ago and potentially fuck up everything you've worked for, everything you love, everything you stand for, no matter how much good you've done. They can look at that and be like, oh, this is what she believed when she was 22, So I think that healing isn't linear, and excuse me, I got the hiccups. I think the healing isn't linear, and I'm excited to get into the meat and gristle of it today.
Yeah, I've definitely said that sentence a lot in the past month and a half. Healing is not linear at all.
I agree. Well, what would you say is the hardest part of healing from trauma?
I think having to relive the trauma is probably the hardest part, because if you're going to deal with the trauma to get to healing, you have to relive what you went through. Whatever the trauma may be, you have to relive it. You have to open that wound. You have to open that scar up, open it so it can breathe and really you can begin to heal. That, I think that's the hardest part, is having to try to relive what you went through.
Okay. I can see that. For me, it was forgiveness when it came to
Oh yeah, because you don't.
true trauma.
You
Yeah,
don't do that.
I'm not real good in that area, y'all. I can hold a fucking grudge. And the thing is, I don't stay mad long. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to be angry at you for a long period of time. I might only be mad for about 15 minutes, honestly. However, the way that I move around you from then on out compared to the version of me that you have before you betray me, they're two completely different Jordans. They're two completely different Joes. And it takes quite a while to get the second one to trust you enough to go back to being the first one, the first version you had access to. Right. So I would probably say the forgiveness was or is the hardest part of healing for me, not just forgiving them, but forgiving the version of me that allowed it to happen.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
the version of myself that was okay with what it is that you did to me, or that didn't see the signs that you were playing with me, or, you know, anything like that. Yeah.
Do you think is that a trauma response?
What the way that I heal? The forgiveness part?
The part of you blaming yourself for what somebody else did to you. Like, you should always feel like you should know.
Yeah, that's definitely a trauma response.
Because I don't feel like that.
Yeah, but I also don't feel like reliving the trauma or telling my story is hindrance to me, because I'm going to tell it all. So
It's not that it's
reliving
hindrance to me either. It's just having to relive it is hurtful.
reliving it and retelling it and stuff like that. It was the opposite for me. Like, nah, I'm gonna tell it, and I'm gonna tell it every time I see you, every time I think about you, every time somebody bring it up. Them, that person right there, yeah, they did it. It was them. Let me tell my story. I was that motherfucker. You shouldn't hurt me. Shit. Defend yourself. Okay.
You ain't gonna be the only one.
I ain't gonna
hurt.
be the only victim. Goddamn it. Defend yourself. So that wasn't my my issue. However, it is still a trauma response that I should have had a better answer. I should have known better. I should have protected myself, or I should have protected my family or my friends or whoever better. I should have. Because in my mind, I'm the leader. I'm the one that can.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand it. Okay, so
So for me, it was the forgiveness, and you said for you, it was reliving the trauma to move forward.
what are some traumas that you're trying to heal from today, if you want to share?
Ooh. I didn't come in here to. Oh shit.
Oh, you ain't see that one? I did pop that one in late. You don't have to share if you don't want to.
Well, no, like I said, I don't mind sharing my story. I just wasn't prepared for this particular. Anyway, I have sexual trauma that I am still healing from. Sex it can still be really awkward for me. And it's funny because in my head, like, I am this prowess fucking. Like,
Oh God, it's so
just
funny in the room.
aggressive freak, right? Like, in my head, it is when it comes to sex, because I turned back into that little girl, because the way that I was introduced to it was not calm and sensual and, oh, you're beautiful to me, gentle type of making love that you're supposed to have when it's your first fucking time. It was very brutal. So when I think of sex and I'm thinking, okay, this isn't someone who's going to hurt me. This is someone who, likes me. I don't know. I just turn into that little girl, and it's kind of like I'm rewriting my first time, if that makes sense. It's almost like every time I'm rewriting it and turning back into that giggly ass little person who wasn't supposed to be in that predicament in the first place. And I'm giving this person an opportunity to rewrite that story for me. It's really weird. But that is one that I'm still nurturing myself through. And then I would probably say narcissistic abuse is definitely a trauma I am growing through. My father, I never told him he was a narcissist. I knew that he was an abuser. I did not know what type. I just knew it. And it did not matter how much you mattered your fucking being and still lie straight to your fucking face. And it would confuse me. And then I would try to do it the same way as him. And I'm not that skilled of a liar. Like he could just and put it out there and have you really convinced. I'm persuasive. And when I'm passionate about things, I can get people to rally behind me. I can get thousands of people to stand behind me and say, yes, let's follow her. But it's because I'm telling the fucking truth. I'm passionate about and have all of these people convinced of his story and know that y'all are getting ready to be just fucking burn. Like y'all are getting ready to go down with this ship, and he will keep a straight face. And that's a lot to see as a kid and grow up with, because now as an adult, it's like I like people, but I don't like people, and I don't like people because I can't trust people. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust a single fucking soul because I watched my father look these people and completely lie about everything he was. And I was like, ma'am. And it got to a point where, like, even as a teenager, I didn't even speak to them no more. I started treating his girlfriends and wives like they were just as disposable as he was treating them. I didn't have respect for them. The way that the way a teenager should be respecting their step parent or their father's girlfriend or whatnot. I was like, bitch, you're not going to be here long, okay? I'm not getting ready to get attached to you or these fucking kids y'all done brought in here. I don't need no more step siblings. I know. And he brought this one lady home. She had 2 kids. One of them was a baby. I'd never heard of a baby. Beautiful, beautiful little girl. Loved teen. So fucking desperate for a sister. You could just see her like trying to cling to me. And I made it a point to make sure that she knew she was not my fucking sister and leave me alone. I didn't want to get attached to her. And to this day, I still feel bad for the way that I treated this girl because it wasn't her fault. She just loved her some me. She thought that I was the bee's knees. She wanted to be just like me and she loved everything about me. And I was like, kid, I do not have the time or space or capacity to pretend to like you long enough. You're not going to be here long.
My daddy ain't
shit. I was like, you are not going to be here long. Run, okay?
Tell your mama.
Don't get attached to this family, and he going to beat your mama ass. Like, get out of here. Leave, sis. Like, and I didn't know how to say that or communicate it at that time because in my head, I was still convincing myself that my father was a hero, right? I was still trying to, in my head, work out how he was still this amazing fucking human. And that's still something I'm peeling those layers back today. I'm no contact with my father right now. I haven't spoken to my father in a few years, but peeling back the layers of who I am and how I am and why I am the way I was. The reason I'm so fight or flight is also because of my father and growing up around that domestic abuse. You can't put your hands on me and expect me to just be like, okay, I'm calling the cops. No, bitch, when the cops get here,
they're going to be peeling me off of you.
They're going to be peeling me off of you because I won't be the only victim. I have seen some people get their ass rocked trying to be the bigger person. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm finna try to beat you to sleep. I'm finna try to beat the soul up out you. You can't put your hands on me. I'm not built like that because of the things that I've seen. So those are some traumas that I am still.
So she's Malcolm and I'm Martin. Very
much that. And not because I can't understand. It's not that I don't understand Martin's point of view. I can sit and have a conversation and all of that good stuff. Just know that at the end of it, I still don't trust you. But we had the conversation and things were smooth. But as soon as I feel threatened or you have tried to put your hands on me, it's a wrap in here. And I'm trying to wrap my brain around some of those things because, like I said, I do know that they're trauma responses. Most people are not trying to physically harm me, right? But yeah, what would you say are some traumas that you've realized, like in your full-blown adulthood, you're still trying to heal from?
I would say probably the same exact things that you were trying to heal from.
Now we attracted each other because we mirrors.
I was just about to say, damn, did we trauma bond? No. But that's not none of that stuff we talked about.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's not like we related to each other on that level. But yeah, I am trying to heal myself from those exact things at this exact moment.
Ooh.
And what is so hard for me is the reliving everything part. You trying to figure out how the hell did I let this happen? And I'm like, oh, I do not want to have to replay this. And in the situation that's been going on with my family, and I had to relive it so I could paint a picture for everyone and they could understand the severity of the situation. And, you know, at the time, I'm big and bad Jessica, right? And y'all see I got my glasses on today, so it might be a few tears in the house.
Might get a little misty in here.
just a little eye sweating today. But just having to relive it and in front of an audience, I think is also a different feeling. Reliving it intimately with, you know, your partner, like if I shared stuff with you, that's different. And I still might have cried then or been emotional then, but it's different when it's in front of an entire audience, and that's the first time you're really opening the scab. So and my dad, I've forgiven him that, and that was the same thing I told my family. I've forgiven him. That's the only way I could go and rush and see his last breaths and be there through the whole process and bury him after his transition is because I could forgive him. But that doesn't mean you forget. And also, that doesn't mean you're still not dealing with the trauma responses of the trauma. So, I heard that shame cannot outlive being spoken. I want to say that's Oya. Yeah, that's Oya. I believe that's Oya.
Ooh. But yeah, I mean, and those are some pretty serious things to have to recover from, and to have to, when you're not the one who caused the trauma, to have to be the only person responsible for your recovery is kind of wild to me. Like, it's kind of wild to me. Like, you hurt me, but I have to heal me. That shit's wild to me. I used to get so angry with that as a kid. Like, because most adults wouldn't apologize. Like, if I fucked up, I had to apologize as a kid. And, you know, I was real big on being fair, just like my son is real big on being fair, which is another reason why I apologize to my children and let them know sometimes mommies fuck up. Okay? Mommy messed up. That's my bad. I apologize, son. You are right. You were right. And I make sure that they know that, because it bothered me so much when I was younger. And I knew that I was right. They never circled back with that fucking apology. And I'd be ready to beat people in the back of their head. Because mink, I know you know I'm right.
Skibbity paps.
Yes, I know you know I'm right. So I concur. Would you say, is forgiveness essential for true emotional and mental healing? Forgiveness of those who have wronged them.
Forgiveness is essential for the person. Because when you forgive someone, it's not for them, it's for you.
Why?
Because it removes the power of what they did to you.
I feel like people just told us that. I feel like a bunch of old people got together and started telling us that you got to forgive them, not for them, but for you, because you're going to stay angry. But what if I want to be angry? Like, what if I want them to know that what you did is not okay and I deserve to be fucking upset? Like, I feel like what people feel forgiveness is not what forgiveness is. Like, they think that's just the removal of anger. Like, yeah, you did what you did to me. I forgive you. I'm no longer mad. That's not what the fuck happened. And I feel like somebody just made that up and told us that to keep us forgiving people for our wrongdoings. Like, no, I feel like, but I even think the Bible said an eye for an eye, bitch.
I think that's where the discrepancy is how the old people think, what the old people think forgiveness is, or the older generations. Is just, all right, I forgave you, we can move on and never talk about it again. No, that's not what actual forgiveness is. That ain't what
forgiveness or healing is. That's just a lack of accountability.
Exactly. And you said earlier,
generational trauma.
Yes, healing is not linear. So healing doesn't look like this, guys, when we say that. Healing looks like
you got heights and valleys. Yeah, it might loop back.
Yeah.
You thought you was over it, and it comes back in a different way. Now you triggered and you mad all over again, and that's your right because you
triggers do
are
exist.
Healing yourself. Somebody did something to you, but you are responsible for healing you. There are going to be some things that trigger that and bring it up. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't trust motherfuckers. I'm not a very trusting person because the people I was supposed to trust the most, your parents, those are the people that I first saw or witnessed this with, right? Shout out to my mommy. I have a great mommy.
You do.
But she couldn't be there everywhere, right? She can't be everywhere. She's trying to work to be a single mom. She's trying to do so. Things happened. Things occurred, and when those things occurred, I'm the one left with what happened, what occurred. I can tell them all I want. Tell them the story. There ain't nothing they can do about it. It still happened. So, you ready to move on?
Oh, my cousin Richie said anger is punishing yourself for someone else's action. How do you feel about that?
Anger is punishing yourself for someone else's actions. I don't believe that to be true because that would mean that anger was somehow hindering or harming me.
Your anger gonna harm somebody else.
Yeah, I was
my
like, not
anger
the
might
way,
harm me than somebody else.
I was like, not the way that my anger works.
Because that trash can still broke from the other day when I slammed it.
Yeah, most people have that mental war, and maybe that's part of my neurodivergence. Most people have that mental war where they're going to overthink that anger, right? Me, I'm breaking down what I could have done better. That's how I start healing better. It's trying to prevent it from happening again. How could I have prevented it then? How can I prevent it from happening in the future? And then my anger is very much so directed at the right people. I feel like, at least. I don't feel like it stops me from doing anything at all.
Okay. Oya said, and forgiving yourself is key. When do you forgive yourself?
Yes, that I agree with Oya. That's what I was saying earlier. The forgiveness is the hardest part for me, for healing, because it's not just having to forgive you, it's having to forgive me. It's having to forgive the version of me that allowed it to happen. The version of me that sat and, not listening to my discernment or whatever. I got to forgive that version of myself because I always think I'm on top of my shit, right? I always think I am my best version of myself every day. And to find out, I got played just yesterday. Forgiving myself that is the journey. And then growing up with a narcissistic father that makes you feel like you should have known better or you should have been better. You should have, it's always on you. It doesn't help. It didn't help.
Okay. Should trauma survivors be encouraged to confront their past directly as part of their healing process, or is avoidance sometimes a valid coping mechanism?
Ooh, I think you're going to make me pull back into my psychology bag, girl. I know that's what I went to school for. No, I'm playing. I think that's on a case-by-case basis, depending on the trauma and depending on how they're dealing with the trauma and how they're reliving the trauma, because I think it would be different for each of us. If the worst thing for you is reliving it, then encouraging you to relive it probably wouldn't be the best thing for a therapist to do, right? But if I'm ready to tell my fucking story and the worst thing for me is forgiving myself, then having me and encouraging me to relive it and break down and go level by layer is a good thing for me. So I would say it's a case-by-case basis. For someone like me who likes to know how everything works, how it started, how it began, what led to this, and I'm very solution-based. Excuse me. I think that has a lot to do with my neurodivergence as well. I think that peeling the layers back really helped me. Going step by step to relive it, each step, each process, then they said this, and then I did this, and then they moved this, and then I hit a blunt, and then I did whatever it is where I fucked up, like where I could have maneuvered in a conversation differently and whatnot. And then once I see where I could have, then I start breaking down where they could have been better.
If someone handles it in the avoidance as a coping mechanism, you eventually get to confronting it somewhere in your life. Because I lived in avoidance for 20 some odd years of my life, not wanting to deal with it because me and emotions we was oil and water. I didn't want to be emotional, so I just never dealt with any of it, and I just set it all back here. And now that's how you get to where you're almost 40 and you're having to deal with all of this shit when you could have just dealt with it in your teens and your 20s. And I could be not fully, I could be a lot more along in this journey in life. So I think that's the point, is if you do cope with it and just push it back, eventually you're going to have to deal with it. Because it's blocking you from so much.
Facts.
And I'm going to go back to something Oya said, and forgiving yourself is key. I had to do that with myself. I didn't took my glasses off prematurely. Hold on. I had to go back and forgive myself because I didn't divulge information to other people that probably could have saved other people. And it could have started the healing journey a long time ago for us all. And me not divulging the information, I thought I was protecting the ones closest to me. I thought I was protecting them from having to deal with something. It was making myself put on a mask.
Where do you think your trauma of always feeling like something is your fault or you're a burden to somebody stemmed from?
My narcissistic father.
But I thought you said he wasn't really in your life like that.
But I
Was
wanted
that the
him
source
to
of
be.
it?
Yes, but I wanted him to be. And when I was younger, he was around more because it was court ordered at that time, child support. And I wanted him to be when I was younger, but then just being around him and learning that I was the accident from his mouth, feeling like everything was always my fault, stemmed from that.
Damn.
Yeah.
We were two completely different kind of kids.
You felt like nothing was your fault, and I felt like everything was my fault. That's why I overly check in with you. If you're quiet that day and you're not really talkative or touchy or feely, I
be
am
in a completely
always
different
checking
world,
in
y'all.
with you
Ain't
because
even
I feel like
almost thought about
I did something wrong.
Our relationship, nothing. I'm sitting here thinking about all kinds of
Stars
other stuff.
and space and
I be
writing
making
scripts.
songs in my head and rewriting scripts and rewriting jokes in my head. I literally be in my head like a King Kong, just random fucking shit. And she'll come out of nowhere and be like, "You okay?" I don't know. You just seem irritated. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I'm in a great mood. Or I'll be asleep. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I've always wanted to just kind of pinpoint. Why do you always feel like you're a burden? You just be sitting there. I just be sitting here. I enjoy you just sitting there. You just being here. And then we both will say stuff like, "Oh, we like just being able to sit with each other and just nothing. We don't need anything. It's just effortless. We're just watching TV." And we do it for 30 minutes. And you'd be like, "You okay?" Don't let me be quiet, y'all.
I gotta check and make sure I ain't did nothing wrong.
Yes. But I also learned that with you being more touchy than I am, usually if within that 30 minutes or so I reach over and I rub your hand or touch your leg or something like that, you usually are good for another 30 minutes.
Is that what you be doing? Oh my gosh.
Let me rub on her thigh a little bit. She be, uh-oh.
Okay,
there it goes.
We back.
Yeah, got to rub on your thigh or hold your hand for a little bit. That's my version of reassurance because I'm not very touchy-feely anymore. But yeah, let me hold her hand. She going through it.
Oya, you have no idea. Avoidance, it does feel like constantly running. You are never comfortable in your own skin. You are always running from something. So yes, that is completely correct. And it is a fair response. Uh-oh.
Hello. Testing. Can y'all hear us?
Y'all let us know if y'all can hear us.
Yeah, somebody give us a thumbs up or something. And we didn't hit. Can y'all hear us? Testing. Hot 702.5 FM. If they can't hear us, they're going to be like, Joe always can't take nothing serious. Hello? Where E go?
Where's E? Oh, they can't hear us.
Oh, y'all can't hear. Oh, see, I told you I can't take nothing serious. I don't know what happened.
Can't hear ourselves.
Our headphones went out. I'm gonna take one of these off just so I can hear you. So if y'all can hear us, then we're fine. Do you think the concept of healing is too simplistic for complex emotional? I don't understand this question. Do you think the concept of healing is too simplistic, implying that there's an endpoint to the process?
I think the way that we have been approaching it in the new generation, and that us explaining that healing is not linear, is that it shows. I don't think healing has an endpoint. I think it's something that you have to continually work at, because sometimes you could end up back here. You might have been here and then you end up back because something triggered you. So I don't think healing has an endpoint. And I think what the question is trying to ask is how we used to view healing is, all right, you over it? Let's move on. We don't have to ever talk about it again. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Maybe we just need to stay still. Maybe we was moving too much.
I don't know. The headphones back, y'all. I don't think the concept of healing is misunderstood. I think people choose to believe what they want to believe when it comes to healing. I don't think that saying that I'm healing from something or she is healing from something implies that there is an endpoint, because if it had an endpoint, it wouldn't end in ing. It would end in ed. Ooh. That would be I'm healed. That is how the word goes. So if I am healing, it means presently I am still healing. I am healing from past generational traumas. I am healing from things that have happened to me. I am healing. I don't think any part of that should ever suggest or imply that I was complete with the process. I think people choose to believe how long they think it would have taken them to get over it. And that's when it's nice to remind people that there's a difference between healing and moving on. Just because you would have been able to move past this does not mean that you would have been able to heal from it the way that you think that you could. Not having feelings is not a flex, bitch.
Yeah, we good now. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Not having feelings
no,
is not
they really
a flex.
they really act like that.
It wouldn't have bothered me. Okay, well, great for you. Bitch, my feelings hurt. So address my shit. The fuck?
Yo, that is hilarious, because that is how some people feel. Or I've dealt with it and I healed from it and I've moved on. No, you just didn't deal. You really didn't deal with it.
Yeah, or it didn't happen to you the way it happened to me. Everything that happened to you is not the same. Oh, I was molested too. Okay, mine was brutal though. Somebody smacked you on the ass. It's different. It's different. Okay. Yeah, I think I had something I wanted to say and it like completely skipped my. What was it? Healing is healing too simplistic. Yeah, I forgot. It's gone.
I'm sorry.
It was good too, but yeah, I don't think that it implies. I think people just assume that if they would have been able to move on or move past it, that you're able to move on and move past it at the same rate. And yeah, that's not how healing works. Not having feelings is not a flex.
Okay. Now we're going to get into kind of societal things. Okay. Should society prioritize funding for mental health treatment over other public services, considering the impact on overall well-being and productivity?
No.
You saying you can go into
for our country. So the other veterans and our homeless, we still need to make sure that our single mothers can feed their children and have affordable housing. I'm not gonna say that making sure that equal to diabetic Deborah, saying that health overall in this country should be looked at. I think that mental health should be prioritized, and that's from someone who has mental diagnosis.
Mental health is a part of your overall health, healthy well-being.
You don't want Donnie, accidentally crapping his pants in the office. You also don't want Brenda snapping it in the workplace, man. Like, take care of your employees. Just take care of people. I don't think one should be prioritized over the other. Humans should be prioritized, in my opinion. That's just, those are two different extremes, but I'm just saying. This bitch turned into Donnie Thornberry because y'all didn't give her schizophrenia medication. Brenda finna air this bitch out.
Because y'all didn't give her all her hours last week. Now she can't get her medicine.
Exactly.
Now everybody got to die.
Now the wrong personality that showed up to work today. You done fucked up, Fred. Brenda looks pissed. I'm sorry. I gotta take the fuck out myself.
Okay. Individual use
yeah, I can't tell you as long as you get through it. I don't care what method you used. If you used spirituality and you used crystals and healing and all of that in order to heal yourself, by all means, as long as you healed. Used medication, whatever it is that helped you heal and actually get through it and not just over it, I support. So, no, I don't think that it's wrong, or I do think that it's acceptable for people to use religion or spirituality to heal themselves.
I agree. And in the case of kind of what I'm dealing with now, and it's prevalent in the Black community where some people feel like God heals all and they don't need therapists or psychiatrists because I got my God. Not real. Therapists and psychiatrists and psychologists, just for the hell of it. He created these people to help you along your journey. Just like he created teachers to help your dumbass kids in school realize that 3 + 3 is 6 and not 5. So everybody was created equally to help you along your journey, and it's okay to use those resources versus just saying, oh, we gonna do this the godly way, we gonna do this the Christian way only. I feel like if you need more and you realize you need more, you should be able to access those things.
I think it's cool for you to decide that you're going to use God for you. I don't think that it's okay for you to decide that God is the answer for everybody involved. That's not it. My God going to heal you too. Don't volunteer. I don't even know if your God is the same as mine. Don't do that. I don't even know if I want him over here. Like, what? Don't do that. Don't send no more people over here. That's wild. Oh, that's wild. But yeah, I don't think that you should be able to use your religion on other people's healing process. Like, oh, I want to go to therapy, and you're like, oh, no, all we need is God. Bitch, who is we? I said I need to go to therapy. Who even mentioned you? Nobody even brought you into this fucking what? So yeah, I don't think you should be able to use religion for other people, no matter how you think they were raised. Or I raised you to believe in God, and I'm gonna believe in him while I'm talking to my therapist.
So B said, I think therapy should be normalized and welcome versus being looked down upon. However, I don't think it should come solely out of taxpayer money. And he said, side note, the holy rollers need therapy the most.
Yeah,
You ain't
Jesus
never
need to come
lied.
see about y'all. He need to come see about y'all for real.
Oh, is it me laughing? What is it? I don't know. Y'all can hear us, right?
Yeah. Is it fair to expect individuals to bounce back quickly from from emotional or mental setbacks, or should we recognize the varied timelines for healing? Well, I feel like we kind of already touched on that. Healing's not linear. There is no set timeline to heal, right? Just because you think that I feel like what the real problem is people don't want to be inconvenienced.
Oh, you did hit the nail right on the head.
By having
Say it again.
I feel like people don't want to be inconvenienced by having to support your emotional state as you heal. They don't want to feel responsible for your emotions. Therefore, they want you to get over it and get through it quickly so that they no longer have to deal with your emotional state of having to heal through it. That's what I think the real problem is. Because I don't really think anybody thinks that you should heal quickly, because they know full goddamn well that they would not heal quickly. And they know that there's something that has happened to them that has caused them to not heal quickly, or that they're still recovering from, I don't do this because this happened to me when I was younger, but you expect me to get over what just happened to me 3 months ago? Make that make sense. So I don't think that that's anybody's true belief, that they expect you to heal quickly. I think that they prefer to not be inconvenienced after they've had to be the sole person helping you heal. When they're the only person you're talking to about it, or they feel like they're the only person you're talking to about it, it seems like you're talking about it all the time when they're the only person you talk to in that 3 months. So 3 months has gone by, and now every day, or at least twice a week, I'm burdened, quote unquote, burdened by what you're going through and you are healing, while I'm still also trying to deal with what I am healing from. And I think that back and forth of not knowing if it's really a safe place for you to be able to just lay your burdens down and just lay them bare, I think that ongoing cycle is what causes healing to kind of suck for everybody. But I also think that that's one of the reasons why my friends and my family, and even you, have really just been drawn to me over the years, because when I say this is a safe place and you can just lay all your shit there and I'm not going to judge you, I mean that. You can lay all of your shit bare right there. I'm not going to judge you. And if I'm being completely honest, in about 2 days, you're going to have to remind me what we talked about. I'm not going to hold you. But I think that that's helpful when it comes to healing. I think that's why people say that they always bring up that we have such positive energy, because they don't have to worry about putting on a facade or becoming somebody else or trying to pretend that they're okay. Bitch, if you need to come over here and just cry.
Do that.
And we gonna sage as soon as you leave the fucking house.
Because we don't need that on us.
Yeah, we don't need it in the house, but we gonna sage and you are good. When you come back the next time, we ain't gonna bring it up. We ain't gonna always bring out, remember when we was there for you? We probably don't remember.
Nope.
If I'm being completely honest, it's a part of the process. Humans need other humans. We need to connect with each other, and we need to sometimes get it out. And if you're so afraid that somebody's going to judge you, or somebody's getting ready to throw it back in your face, or somebody's getting ready to compare their life to yours or whatnot, you're not healing. You're not getting through it. So we have become those two people that people can just come and be like, this happened to me when I was little, and this happened to me, and then my dad did this, and then my uncle did that, and we like, damn, and then as soon as it's done. We ain't got to bring it up no more. We ain't got to talk about it no more. I understand that sometimes you just need to regurgitate it out, and you just got to get it off of you. Get it off of you, and then move on. And I won't bring it up if you won't bring it up. I feel like that is healing. That is what a healing friendship looks like. That is what a healing relationship looks like. Just being able to be like, can I just spew for 5 minutes with no judgment? I just got to get this off me.
Because this is a judgment-free zone.
Yes, judgment-free zone. Get it off of you. And that's it. I feel like that is healing. And I feel like being able to create those spaces has actually become a joy of mine. I enjoy it because it has created more safe spaces for me to be able to do the same. I have more people I can call now and just be like, I just need 3 minutes to just cry because the day sucks. And they're like, oh, okay, hold on, let me turn this off. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Man, the part about the people don't want to be inconvenienced, it's so true, because I had to deal with that with my family, saying stuff like, oh, I'm tired of having meetings. It's only the second meeting. The fuck you mean? You tired of having meetings?
You ain't gotta be here. See, and that's why my family.
That's
me. You ain't
that's
gotta
how
be here.
I
You
feel.
can go.
You
Yeah.
can show me where your loyalty and what's important to you. If you don't want to be here, that's fine.
And also be in the group to meet play with the doctors. You're still your family.
Exactly. Yeah, and inconvenient for some people. Important to you are these people to yourself. You go word vomiting to other people, feel good that's involved. And people need to watch how they speak, because we're gonna do a show on tricks. That's an kick. I got 30 minutes for it. And ask me if you can vomit.
Yeah. Communicate that you're trying to give to me.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'm at emotional capacity myself with what's going on in my life, and honestly, I do not have for you to pour it now. And that's fair. I should be able to say that I'm not the only person that you can help you.
Let us.
I mean, our headphones hear you sound. So can you hear it? Testing.
Chat and let us know if y'all can. If we can hear you or you can hear us. Hey.
They coming to fix the job.
Yeah.
Should individuals be held responsible for their own emotional healing, or is it society's duty to provide support? Ooh.
Duty.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like that word, especially being a veteran myself. I'm like, duty? Duty though? Your emotional support or your healing support. So no, to answer your question, one should be responsible for their own emotional trauma and how you feel differently about the situation. Only you is who the trauma happened to. You and only you are responsible for the healing, which is why I feel like people shouldn't be able to tell you how to heal it or how to get through it. It's not my job. You feel that you need to deal with that so long as it's not illegal. It's not like you're like, you know what? I need to get over this. I'm gonna go cute at it. Well, I can't support that, but however it is that you choose to heal, whether it's with Reiki healing and crystals, or you need to go on vacation and go sit at the beach and walk into the water backwards, whatever it is that you feel you need to do, it's my job to support your belief in that, because you're the only person healing the trauma.
I don't feel like it's society's duty. Like we both said, that's a strong word. Mm-hmm. I think there should be more readily available resources, and those resources should be marketed a lot better if there are resources.
Resources like what? When it comes to healing specifically?
Therapy or whatever, the different resources that might be available. I'm not saying that what resources should be available, if there are. I think we shouldn't have to do a $1 million search to try to find them. If there are resources available for people who need any type of healing from any type of trauma.
I think when we say that resources need to be readily available, we need to specify what type of resources we would be looking for healing. Because I do feel like therapy is readily available in a lot of places. They have free therapy. They have meetings that you can go to with simple Google searches that you can find in places. They have the suicide hotlines, simple Google search. anonymous meetings and things like that, churches, just simple resources like that. If you're looking for specific resources that are spiritually based, then of course that would change what your Google search is. You're looking more for Reiki, spiritualist, spiritual shops, psychics and mediums, things of that nature. But I do feel like those resources are pretty readily available. You have to find those people because they are niche. They are specifically for healing. I can't think of any other resources that people would need to find or that are available or that can be made any more readily available. That's why I was asking.
Some people don't think of that. That's all I'm saying. It should just be more in your face, and you shouldn't feel shame about wanting to use those resources either.
I do agree with that.
Because in our community, I can't speak for other communities.
I am realizing in my 30s that I was a pretty bold human. Like my entire life, I've been pretty bold with as far as saying what it is that I wanted to say and having the confidence of knowing that what I'm saying needs to be said and is right. Realizing now in my 30s, as people are starting to come into that because they haven't been that way their entire lives, and now we're coming into this truth stage and everyone's starting to talk a little bit more about their feelings, I'm realizing like this has been me my entire life. So when people are now like, well, I'm standing up for myself and I'm saying something, I'll be looking at people like, when have you not been standing up? Like, because this has been me my whole life. So I don't know.
You were definitely born a different human than a lot of other people. Your thought process is a lot different. A lot of people, they might have wanted.
I feel like
to
people care about a lot of things, and you care. I feel like a lot of people care about a lot of things, and a lot of those things aren't important.
Yeah. A lot of people care about what other people think, say, feel.
And it's not important. And I think that's one of the biggest differences between me and a lot of just neurotypical people is neurotypical people care so much about so much stuff that does not fucking matter. It does not matter to your day. It doesn't matter to your overall life. It does not matter to your family, your overall health. It does not contribute to your money, which does not contribute to your bills. And a lot of you guys are focusing on surviving because that's literally all you have time to do, because you're so busy caring about so much shit that ain't got nothing to do with you or your life. The way that I try and add self-care into our month with the amount of money that we make, I don't feel like most neurotypical people would try to do that. They would just be stressed as fuck right now, trying to figure out their life and trying to survive. And we don't have that energy. Like even with our finances, when they're skeptical and we are trying to figure out what's going on, the energy is not what most neurotypical people have around it.
I had to get there, y'all.
Yeah, you did. Because she would be about to lose her shit, and I'd be sitting there looking at her like, but we're fine. We're going to be fine because it doesn't matter. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. None of that matters. We will be alive. We will be fed. We will be healthy. We will be happy. We will have our home. We will have our kids. We will have our car. So once we go down all of that and knowing we will be clean, we will be fed, we will be this, that, and the other. After that, listing some of the stuff that we'd be worried about, I'd be like, like we'll be fine. We're gonna be all right. So I don't know, and I feel like it takes neurotypical people a really long time to come to that conclusion, because from teenager to like early 40s or like 35 maybe, you guys are just taught to survive, just grind it out, survive. And I don't know, I wasn't raised like that. I don't know. I won't say that I wasn't raised like that, because my family very much so did survive. Just my brain didn't sink into that when I was born. I came in and fucked all that up, that logic up for my family.
Well, it happened to a lot of us. You happened to a lot of us. Man, we appreciate y'all so much and joining in with us today.
I actually love this conversation centered around healing. I think that we could have like a healing part 2 conversation next week and go into some deeper conversations. I think that this is a great topic for us. I think it's a great topic for you guys. I think you guys enjoy this topic because you guys have definitely given us some feedback and been commenting like crazy today, so we appreciate that. So I think healing part 2 next week. We'll draft up some good questions and come on back and go into a deeper discussion. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email them to us or send them to us on our social media. Give it to them one more time, Jay.
JSD Sunshine 4.
And I am King Me Comedy on Instagram. You guys can send us some questions or some topics if you guys would like to join in. And again, you guys can catch us here every Thursday at 4 PST. And and we will catch you next week. Love you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.